to kind of zoom back out and focus on a couple of things that what we've heard in several different conversations. So each one of the young people that is in Brittany's team is interviewing 3 to 4 folks who are like you that are doing this kind of work. And we keep bumping into people saying, nobody believes in student leadership, or they're skeptical about the idea that students can actually be the leaders, and that those creating the spaces like you do, that there's not a lot of trust, I think. And I think at the high school level, even more difficult. So my first question is, what advice do you have for these 16-year-old student leaders to help them overcome the skepticism? Like, how did you do it with PACE?
Yeah. So I have thoughts for the students themselves, and then I have thoughts for the leaders that are skeptical. For the students, and Wendy, you're the one who taught me this, and I'm sure you've maybe have done this with this listening survey with them, is when you have all these ideas, then you put things in categories, like what are things that we can do totally by ourselves, right? And then what are things that we can do with a little bit of help? And then what are things that we can do that, like, we need a lot of help. In fact, maybe the entire institution needs to change it. And that's what we really focus on, because VCU is a huge institution, and I have little to no control over VCU. Same thing with all these students, right? Now, the blessing is I have a building, right? So I can work, that's a big asset that I can work with. It's also it takes up a lot of my time and energy to deal with this building. But helping students to see that, like, if you truly want to change school culture, do something. I mean, like, what, just go do it, right? Like, and that's where I think that trust is gained, is when you've got, whatever it is, the 6, 7, 8, 16-year-olds. Well, like, go and just do one thing, right? Find one thing. I'm going to use the example of like crochet club, right? Like, because that's the thing that our students, we found a handful of students that were into it, and we were like, okay, well, let's just give you a space. And they brought all their own stuff. Now, once it got going, all of these churches and all these community groups wanted to donate yarn and wanted to donate all this stuff, right? But it's not like that supplies cost a lot, right? Like the students can bring that, and you could do a thing that you could do a dance something, right? And you don't even need anything but music, and you just put your iPhone on, right? Or like whatever it is. But just my suggestion is to not overthink it, and come up with something and invite people to be a part of it. And when they're a part of it, don't let them leave until you get to feel out when they want to be a part of the next one. And then gather again a week later, right? And do it again. And it's going to build, and it's going to build. And then all of a sudden, the administration or the teachers or whoever it is that's skeptical is going to see, like, wait a second. Okay, you've got a group of people, they're gathering at the same time. They actually have the ears of the students, because you might think that the people don't care what the students think. But at the end of the day, if you're a student leader, you have credibility, right? Because when I first got here at PACE or at VCU, I heard the exact same thing. I heard, VCU doesn't care about us as students. They don't listen to us. They don't care about us. And I was like, but then I also heard we don't have community and we don't have connection. And I was like, well, I can't do much about that. They don't care about you, but let's build community and let's build connection. And now, because we have a community here that 1,000 students come through our doors every semester, and we have a lot of events happening, and it's all student led, I have VCU coming to us and asking, how are you doing this? How can we help with this thing? How can we improve in what we're doing? Like, you clearly are connecting with the students. So I didn't worry about VCU because I knew I couldn't control them. I proved to them that something could happen, and then they came to us. Does that make sense?